Where is Peter Obi? Because most of the Nigerian youth I speak to and I interact with, they seem to be rooting for Peter Obi, right? Because they
Yeah,
believe that he's probably the
and and they did vote for him in their numbers. In their
so
numbers.
they believe that Peter Obi should be their next president.
And I believe so too, because I've actually seen the data. So the the result sheets, the hundreds of thousands of result sheets, which were not sent, even though they were supposed to be sent, and which we eventually got access to, it indicates very clearly that Peter Obi didn't just win the election; he actually won it in a landslide. However, the problem with, well, I don't want to say the problem, but the key difference between Peter Obi and Bola Tinubu is that uh, Peter Obi is not a career politician. Peter Obi is a billionaire businessman who happens to go into politics. Um, had it been the roles were reversed, and it was Tinubu who was in a situation where he won an electoral landslide and then his mandate was stolen by the other candidates, what Tinubu would have done is something like what's that Kenyan candidate who lost the election? What's his name?
Raila Odinga.
Raila Odinga. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So what Raila Odinga did in I believe it was 2015, was it 2016? No, it was 2015, where he was declared the what's his name Uhuru Kenyatta was declared the winner of the election. Then Raila Odinga took his supporters to some stadium or whatever and got some judge to do like a mock swearing in and called himself the people's president. That kind of stunt, even though you could say it's treasonous, that's exactly the sort of thing Tinubu would have done if he was in Peter Obi's position. Because that's what a politician would do. If you know that the people are on your side, or you have a large enough number of people on your side, then you know that there are other cards you can play in addition to just going to court, because you know that the security agencies, for example, are not going to come after you, because if they know that if they do, they can start a civil war. So you play that to your advantage. That's what an African politician would do. Well, Peter Obi is, as I said, is a businessman. He's not a politician. So because I've actually spoken to him since the announcement, and all he's concerned about is, well, gather evidence, go to courts, gather evidence, put our legal case together properly, blah blah blah. But the thing, I personally, I haven't told him this. I'm not part of his campaign team anyway. But what I personally believe is, when you're working in an African context, in addition to following the letter of the law, you always have to have a certain element of, you know what, I have the carrot, but I also have a stick. So if I'm doing things the right way and you are determined to frustrate me, even though I'm trying to do things the right way, I have another thing in reserve, and I'm going to make sure that you can see it. I might not use it, but I'm going to make sure you can see it and see that they have the capacity to use it. And that might make you think twice about trying to frustrate me. I personally believe that Peter Obi should, ever since the supposed results were announced, he should have come out publicly and led maybe a couple of rallies or something. Just a show of force. Not a protest, not a riot, nothing like that, but just a rally. Just a show of force. Just so the authorities understand that this thing isn't going to be as easy as you think it is. It's not a matter of you just declare anyone you like to be the winner and then the person gets sworn in, and that's the end of that. The youth are still here. They're still on the streets. They've not gone anywhere. And you're going to have to answer that question to them. That's what I think he should have done. But ultimately, obviously, I mean, he's the one running for president, not me. And I can only speak as an outsider. I mean, if I knew as much about politics as he does, probably I'll be the one who would have been running for president, not him. So, but we have to wait and see.